Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling Toncoin.
Toncoin.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of stuff to dig into.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube videos, analysis from CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap,
Right.
even some official info from the TON team themselves.
Excellent.
If you want the lowdown on Toncoin, well,
You've come to the right place.
this is it.
Absolutely.
Got to be up front though, right out of the gate. Some of our team, we hold some TON.
Okay, yeah. Transparency is important.
Think of it like we're friends, sharing what we've learned,
Yeah,
but not trying to, tell you what to do or anything.
I like that analogy.
Just here's a balanced take based on all this research we did.
Makes sense.
So let's start with the basics. What is Toncoin? Where did it come from?
Well, Toncoin, or KON, it's got a pretty interesting origin story.
Oh, yeah.
Started out as the Telegram Open Network.
Telegram.
Yeah, brainchild of our Telegram folks, the messaging app.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And their vision was huge, a whole super app experience. Integrate payments, decentralized apps, all right there in Telegram.
Ambitious.
Very ambitious.
But didn't they run into some trouble? Like with the SEC?
Oh, yeah. Big trouble.
Yeah.
Right before TON was set to launch, the SEC stepped in.
Oh, no.
Claimed their initial coin offering was violating securities laws.
Ah, bummer.
Huge setback. Forced Telegram to officially pull out of the project.
So that was the end.
You'd think, right?
Yeah.
But this is where it gets really interesting.
Oh.
Telegram had to step back, but the TON community,
Uh-huh.
they were passionate, dedicated, they took over.
Wow.
Revived the project, calling it the Open Network.
Okay.
Kept TON as the cryptocurrency, real testament to decentralized communities.
So it's community-driven now.
Totally.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this project. What does PON do?
Okay, think of TON as the fuel for the whole network.
Okay.
Used for transaction fees, kind of like gas on Ethereum.
Okay.
Users can stake their TON to earn rewards.
Okay.
And even participate in governing the network.
So holding TON gives you a say.
Exactly. Plus, of course, TON is for payments within the ecosystem.
Makes sense.
Buying stuff in Telegram mini apps, tipping creators, all using TON.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how many TON tokens are out there total?
Total supply is capped at 5.1 billion tokens.
Okay.
But here's what sets TON apart. It's got a really low inflation rate.
Oh.
Less than 1%.
That's good.
Partly because of this thing called the Ton Believers Fund.
Huh, interesting.
They locked away a big chunk of TON for 4 years, helped stabilize the price.
So more controlled supply.
Exactly.
That makes sense, but who's holding all these tokens?
That's a key question, and it brings up a potential risk.
Okay.
So the distribution's gotten more decentralized, but a good amount of TON is still held by just a few entities,
Okay.
including, Telegram themselves, though they are reducing their stake.
So still some concentration to think about.
Definitely something to consider.
Right. Got to understand the risks.
Always a good idea.
Okay, so we've got the backstory, how it works, the potential risks.
Right.
But now, the big question.
Yeah, the million-dollar question.
What's the future hold for TON?
The crystal ball's a little fuzzy on that one.
Uh-huh. Fair enough.
But TON's price history has been pretty wild.
Oh, yeah?
Earlier this year, massive surge, hype around new Telegram game.
Telegram game.
Yeah, like Hamster Combat.
Hamster Combat.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Very unique.
It got a lot of attention. Airdrops of free tokens played a role, too.
Free tokens, that always gets people excited.
Absolutely. But remember, when people get free coins, they often sell them quick.
Right, so the price can be affected.
Exactly. Short-term gains versus long-term value.
And then there's that other big thing. We can't ignore it.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
The arrest of Telegram's founder.
Back in August, shook some people up, for sure.
Understandably.
It did raise a big question, though, about TON's reliance on Telegram.
Oh, right.
For widespread adoption. I mean,
Yeah.
if Telegram stumbles, what happens to TON?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a big if hanging over everything.
It is.
But let's try to be optimistic. What are some potential upsides for TON?
Okay, so first off, Telegram's got this massive user base.
Yeah, like over 900 million people.
Huge. Even if a tiny fraction of them start using TON.
That's still a lot of people.
Right. And then there's the possibility of a Telegram IPO.
They're going public.
It's a possibility. It could bring a ton of capital into the ecosystem.
And attention?
Oh, yeah. Tons of attention, which would benefit TON, too.
A stock market listing for Telegram. That'd be huge.
Game changer, for sure.
So potential there. What else is making people hopeful about TON?
Well, they're constantly integrating TON into Telegram, making it super user-friendly.
Like how?
They've got the TON wallet built right into Telegram.
Oh, wow.
Send and receive crypto, easy as texting.
That's smart. Removes a lot of the barriers.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. What about partnerships? Any big names supporting TON?
Absolutely. Tencent Cloud, one of the biggest cloud providers globally, they're backing TON's infrastructure.
Okay. And for the gamers out there,
Yes. Animoca brands.
they're big.
Huge in gaming. They're big supporters of TON.
Interesting.
Running a $20 million incentive program for TON-based projects.
Okay. So we've got partnerships, a massive potential user base, Telegram itself pushing TON forward.
Oh, my God.
But let's be real for a sec. What are some of the challenges?
Okay, so first off, even with Telegram's backing, TON's got competition.
Right, like Aptos and Sui wanting that social media integration.
Exactly. They're aiming for Facebook, Instagram, the whole 9 yards.
It's a race to get those next billion crypto users.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's trying to figure out how.
And then what about the technical side? Any hurdles there?
Well, TON uses its own programming language, FunC.
Fuzzy, okay.
It's not as widely used as other languages in blockchain.
So that could be a problem.
Could hinder developer adoption. It's a steeper learning curve.
Right, got to track those developers.
They're the ones who build the cool stuff.
Makes sense. And then, of course, there's always regulation, the big unknown.
Crypto regulations, always changing.
It's a wild west out there.
For sure.
So yeah, TON has huge EE potential, but faces real challenges.
A lot to consider.
Absolutely. Regulation, competition, the whole market, it all plays a role.
You've given us a lot to think about.
I hope so.
It's clear TON is a fascinating project, a lot going for it, but some obstacles too.
For sure.
This idea of Telegram becoming a shadow bank, though.
Oh, yeah.
Decentralized finance running within a popular app.
It's a powerful concept.
It makes you wonder,
This
is this the future of finance?
It's one possibility.
A world where your messaging app is also your bank.
Powered by crypto, it's a fascinating thought.
That's something to ponder.
It is.
We'll be back with more of our deep dive into Toncoin after a short break. Back with more on Toncoin.
Back for round 2.
We've talked about TON's journey so far, but now let's get into the tech.
Under the hood, yeah.
Exactly. What makes this thing tick? Okay, so one thing that really makes TON stand out, it's the architecture.
The architecture.
Yeah, it's not just one blockchain. They've got this system of interconnected chains, like shards.
Shards. Interesting.
Each shard has its own specific purpose.
So like a network of chains.
Right, instead of one big, potentially congested road.
Makes sense. Keep things moving.
Exactly. Scalability is a big challenge for a lot of blockchain.
Right. More users, more transactions, things can slow down.
Exactly. It gets expensive, too.
But TON's built to handle that.
Designed to handle millions of transactions per second.
Millions. That's a lot.
It's thanks to the sharding.
So how does that actually work?
Okay, imagine a huge database. You split it into smaller chunks.
Okay.
Those are the shards. Each one processes transactions independently.
Like a team effort.
Yeah, parallel processing, the workload's distributed.
Keeps things running smoothly.
Exactly, no single point of failure.
Makes sense. But what about security?
Oh yeah, big one.
Yeah.
TON takes a multi-pronged approach.
Okay, walk me through it.
First, they use proof-of-stake consensus.
Proof of stake. That's popular.
Yeah, validators have to stake a lot of TON as collateral.
So they're incentivized to behave.
Exactly, any bad behavior, and they lose their stake.
High stakes.
Literally high stakes.
And that's not the only security measure, right?
Nope, the multi-layered architecture itself boosts security.
Okay, how so?
Well, because transactions are processed on multiple shards, it's much harder for an attacker to mess with the whole network.
Like taking down one server doesn't bring the whole thing down.
That's the idea.
Okay, so that's the tech side.
Pretty cool stuff.
And speaking of cool stuff, what about those partnerships?
Oh yeah, the collaborations.
We mentioned Tencent Cloud, Animoca brands.
Big names.
Are there others worth mentioning?
There are a few. They partnered with Chainbase. They do blockchain data indexing.
Data indexing, what's that about?
Makes it way easier for developers to build on TON.
Okay.
Give them easy access to good, organized data.
So it's all about making it easy for developers.
Exactly. They're the ones building the apps and services.
Right. They're crucial for the ecosystem to grow.
Totally.
What about on the payment side? Any interesting partnerships there?
Oh, yeah. They've integrated with Tether.
Tether, the stablecoin.
That's the one, USDT.
So Telegram users can use Tether.
Easy peasy, send and receive US dollar pegged tokens right in the app.
That's a big deal for adoption, right?
Absolutely. Stablecoins are getting huge.
Makes sense, using crypto without the crazy volatility.
Exactly. More stable, more user-friendly.
And speaking of user-friendly, we got to talk about those Telegram mini apps.
Yes, the mini apps.
What are they exactly? Like apps on our phone?
Kind of, but they run right inside Telegram.
Oh, that's interesting.
They can be games, tools, shopping platforms, all sorts of stuff.
Okay, and they all use TON?
Leverage TON's blockchain, yep.
So in-app payments, digital collectibles, all that.
It's like a whole new world of apps powered by TON.
The whole ecosystem within Telegram.
Exactly. It's pretty cool.
It gives us a glimpse into the future.
Yeah.
Where blockchain is just part of everything.
Totally.
Okay, so we've got these mini apps and partnerships with big players.
Right.
What about the TON Foundation? What role do they play?
Okay, so the TON Foundation, they're a nonprofit
Okay.
dedicated to supporting TON's growth and development.
So like helping the ecosystem thrive.
Exactly. They provide grants to developers, organize events,
Okay.
advocate for TON globally, the whole 9 yards.
Like the support system for the project.
You could say that.
But we can't ignore this one thing that's been on people's minds.
I know what you're talking about.
The arrest of Telegram's founder. How's that impacted TON?
Yeah, it's understandable that people are worried.
Especially with the history between TON and Telegram.
Right, but it's really important to remember TON is separate now.
Separate.
Community-driven, it's its own thing.
So even though they started together, TON's not controlled by Telegram anymore.
That's right. The TON Foundation and the community, they're steering the ship.
So TON's future isn't tied to Telegram's founder.
Yeah. Not directly.
Okay, that's a crucial distinction.
It is. TON has its own path forward.
But, you know, investor sentiment can be affected by stuff like this.
Absolutely. Perceptions matter, especially in crypto.
It's a volatile world,
For sure.
but we got to look beyond the headlines sometimes.
Focus on the fundamentals, the tech, the team, the long-term vision.
That's a good point to remember. TON's got a lot going on under the surface.
It does.
We'll be back to wrap up our deep dive into Toncoin after a quick break. Back for the final part of our Toncoin deep dive.
The grand finale.
We've covered a lot of ground, the past, the tech, the partnerships, the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, we've gone deep.
But now, the big question, the future.
Crystal ball town.
Well, maybe not that mystical, but we got to ask,
Yeah.
is TON a good investment?
Ah, the million-dollar question.
We've laid out the facts,
Yeah.
but what are the big risks? What should investors watch out for?
Okay, so gotta remember, crypto is unpredictable. TON's no different.
Right. Always risks.
One of the biggest, that connection to Telegram,
Right. You talked about
technically independent, but TON's success is still tied to the app.
They can boost each other, but if one falls,
The other could get hurt. Yeah.
so what could go wrong for Telegram?
Imagine regulatory problems, losing users, competition gets fierce.
Any of those could hurt TON.
Ripple effect, absolutely.
Okay, so Telegram's a risk factor. What about other competition?
Oh yeah, Aptos, Sui, they're not the only ones.
Who else is out there?
Solana's pushing hard into crypto payments.
They are.
Integrated with Shopify, that's a big deal.
It is.
And then, Facebook's DM project.
Didn't that stall out?
It did, but could come back. You never know with Facebook.
True enough. A lot of players in the game.
It's a crowded field.
TON's got to stay ahead of the curve.
Innovation is key.
Okay, competition, check. What about the tech itself? Any risks there?
Well, like any software, TON could have vulnerabilities, bugs.
Right, hackers love that stuff.
A major security breach, that could be bad news for TON.
Hurts trust, reputation, the whole thing.
Exactly. A reminder that crypto investments, they come with risks.
High reward, high risks, that's the game.
Especially for a younger project still under development.
Good point. Got to be cautious. Do your research.
Always good advice.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk opportunities.
Gotta balance it out.
We talked about TON onboarding millions through Telegram.
Ambitious goal.
How realistic is it?
It's a big challenge, but not impossible.
Okay.
Telegram's got a huge user base, and they're known for privacy security.
Fits well with the whole crypto ethos.
Definitely, but getting people to actually use crypto in a messaging app,
That's the hurdle.
big one.
So how do they get there?
This is where those mini apps come in.
Okay, right.
If developers build cool, easy-to-use apps that integrate TON seamlessly,
Make it fun. Make it useful.
that's the key. That could lead to mass adoption.
Imagine buying coffee, booking a ride, sending money, all within Telegram.
Using TON, that's the dream.
It's a good dream.
It is, and it's not totally crazy. We're seeing early signs.
Like those games
Yeah.
and the Tether integration.
Early use cases, they're important. They can change how people think.
Make crypto just a normal part of life.
Exactly. That's the goal.
And if TON becomes the platform for all that, within Telegram,
Could be huge for its value.
right, it all comes down to that.
Adoption, utility, the more people use it, the more it's worth.
Okay, so mass adoption potential, a growing ecosystem, strong team.
Looking good so far.
But what about the TON token
A
itself?
part of it all.
Anything about it specifically that makes it attractive to investors?
Well, the low inflation rate is a big plus.
Right, we talked about that.
Helps with stability and the 10 Believers Fund.
Locked up tokens, less supply.
Exactly. It's designed to be more stable, more predictable.
Not like those crazy roller coaster coins.
Some people like those, but yeah, TON's different.
And as TON's used more within the ecosystem,
Demand goes up, price goes up, theoretically.
supply and demand, the classic forces.
Always at play.
But, gotta be real, crypto markets are wild.
Oh, yeah, sentiment can change on a dime.
Regulation, the whole global economy, all that plays a role.
It's a complex system.
So diversification's important, right?
Absolutely. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
No matter how promising that basket looks.
Wise words.
So for anyone out there intrigued by blockchain, by TON's potential,
Yeah, this is a project worth watching.
it's a fascinating experiment, really.
Messaging apps and decentralized finance? Who knew?
The future's being written right now.
It is, and it's exciting.
That wraps up our deep dive into Toncoin, folks.
Thanks for coming along for the ride.
We've explored a lot, but this is just the start of your own research.
Keep learning, keep asking questions,
That's what it's all about. Stay curious out there.
and stay informed.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.